Welcome back to Sunrise on the Hill. Barring any unforeseen issues, the Commanders are officially coming back to D.C.
After some last-minute amendments and hours of debate, the council gave a hearty yes to the multi-billion-dollar RFK Stadium deal. The final vote was 11-2. Let's talk about those last-minute amendments to the billion-dollar package. Changes include $2 million from stadium revenue that will be reinvested into the community every year. The whole project's expected to be finished by 2030. In the meantime, the council says there are still many other details to work out. Okay, let's talk about yesterday's vote and what the deal means for D.C. Who better to do it than Ward 3 Councilmember Matt Frumin? Morning, so happy you can join us.
Thank you for having me. Really excited.
So I say who better because you were kind of the wild card in this. Last time you voted no, but this time you voted yes. Why?
You know, we worked up until the last minute to try to get the best possible deal for the city and to make sure that the Commanders delivered on all elements of the deal. This is about a stadium, but it's also about acres and acres of mixed-use development, new housing, new jobs. And we pushed as hard as we could. I did not get everything that I wanted, but at the end, I thought, this is a great deal for the city. It's a great deal for the Commanders. Let's get shoulder to shoulder and push this thing forward and make it happen as partners.
So you wanted harsher penalties if that housing and mixed-use development is not delivered on time. Why? Are you concerned that the Commanders won't live up to their promise and deliver what they have said they can deliver in this deal?
Yeah, it's trust but verify, right? I mean, we need that development to happen. That's how we grow our tax base. That's how the city gets its economic benefit from this deal. And so we want to have as many terms that compel and the development to happen and happen on time. The Commanders said it every step of the way. They have a shared interest with us, but there are circumstances in which their interests could diverge. And I was looking for modest things to keep the pressure on to get it done. In the end, we added some things. We didn't add everything that I would have liked, but we're pushing forward. And I'm hoping that it gets delivered on time and that all the things that I thought would have been irrelevant anyways.
One of the benefits some people are talking about is the fact that it's going to open up a whole other waterfront area, right? With parkland, similar perhaps to the wharf or even Navy Yard. That's a beautiful thing. Talk about your hopes for that, but also the downside, which is something we discussed prior to the deal being finished, and that is what happens to the people who live there and do you price them out?
Yeah, so it is incredibly exciting to think that those parking lots that have been sitting there forever can turn into a dynamic new community with parks, with recreation facilities. It can add a ton and it can link up our waterfront. You know, it's interesting to think 20 years ago, there was so little on our waterfront that was activated. And now we're really getting to where our waterfront is not fully activated, but getting there, and that is really exciting. Displacement is a big concern in all dimensions, and so we do have to keep an eye on what's the impact of this development on nearby neighbors. You talked about the community benefits package and the way it was strengthened in the last round. That's one piece of it. I think we have to watch this as a body going forward as the development starts to kick in. One of the good things about this deal, among the many good things, is the requirement for affordable housing. 30% of the housing will be affordable. Adding housing is a way of keeping the cost of housing down. So there are dynamics here that can help in terms of affordability that are important. But we're going to have to watch this going forward to make sure that the people who have lived in that community for years, generations, are beneficiaries of this deal.
Let's switch gears. We know Mayor Bowser, Chair Mendelson, and AG Brian Schwab are going to be testifying before the House Oversight Committee. They're going to be talking about some of the D.C. bills that have been passed in the last couple of days, as well as the crime crackdown. Can I get your thoughts on both of those issues? What you want to hear from the council as it relates to these bills, and how you think the crime crackdown went.
So in terms of the recent bills, yesterday was our first day back from recess, and we dealt with both the RFK deal and the Rental Act, which is an attempt to really strengthen our housing sector that has faced a lot of challenges. I think yesterday is really an advertisement for the city government. I think we did a great job on both of those things. We landed with bills that are going to make a very positive difference for the city. And I think we have an awful lot to be proud of. On the crime crackdown, I think the mayor has said, we're open to partnership. We will take support. We have always taken support from federal players. The question is, what's the shape of that support? How do we go about doing that? And I think the administration got off pursuing a tack that really made no sense, really mischaracterized the district, wasn't justified. But now we're trying to move to something where we're working together to keep crime down. Crime was going down before this, and crime has gone down in this period, and we want to keep it down. If we can have a constructive partnership with our federal partners to help to do that, all for it. But we need to control our destiny. We've been doing a great job. The district is a fabulous place, and we have a ton to be proud of.
All right. Thank you so much. So much more to talk about, but the clock's run out.
Yeah.
Councilmember Matt Frumin, we really appreciate your time this morning. Thanks.
All right. Thank you very much. Good seeing you.
You as well.